My first memory of being at Jack Laurie with my dad was probably when we were on Calhoun Street, and he would go in the office and I would be in the warehouse playing in the racks on this rolled 12-foot good carpets. And here I thought it was the most miraculous jungle gym that I ever been in, and that was my first exposure to Jack Laurie commercial floors.
Jack Laurie was a very driven person. He basically knew what he wanted to do, how he wanted to do it. There was always three ways of doing something: the right way, wrong way, then there was the Jack way.
One time we were opening carpet and he cut my finger. He goes, "Oh my God, don't bleed on the carpet." He didn't give a shit about my hand. It's "don't bleed on the carpet." But I mean, that's the type of person he was.
I think he used to fire me once a week, or I get that call the next morning. "Where are you?" I said, "You fired me last week." I didn't mean that, you know that.
His last Christmas dinner here, he says, "Guys, I know I'm a horse's but deep down inside, I love you guys." He would leave the bar open, so we'd run the tab up just to get even. So, I mean, it was the wild, wild west.
I never thought I would take over the company for several reasons. My dad wanted to really educate my brother and I. He wanted us to go to college and not be involved in the business. I don't think it was something that was worth handing off, believe it or not. He was the type of person that probably couldn't work for somebody else, so he had to work for himself. And even when he did sell the company, it was never discussed with us.
The company was in pretty bad shape. Jack had sold it to a young gentleman, nice guy, but he really wasn't great at running the business, so it was struggling.
My dad called me at the time. I was working in Cincinnati and said, "Can you come back on weekends and help this gentleman?" We would do some things to cut costs. We'd do some things to increase sales. We'd do some things to increase lines of credit at the bank.
When John took over the business, it was night and day.
Before he took over, the company was ready to close doors. Times were tough. Business was bad. We didn't have any work.
He had all 12 of us and our wives in the old warehouse, and he likes whiteboards, Well, then he was using the 3x5 Post-it notes. So there's about 50 of those laying out the game plan.
We all had to give. I mean, we all had to give something, but if it wasn't for him, all of us wouldn't have had a job.
Right.
He turned the business around.
Where the company stands now at its 75th anniversary is on very solid footing. So we're coming off a record year in 2024. So a record sales year, a record profit year. And the other thing that's been very unique is we have 8 business units right now. And of those 8 business units in 2024, all of them were profitable.
I think we are successful today because of our grittiness. I think a lot of it goes back to our days when we were scrapping just to get by, and we were a determined bunch of people that wanted to win and grow and develop and educate.
We aligned around core values. And so when you have a group of great people, if they all have different core values, you can never really scale. And so that allows for the right mindset to adopt different ways of doing things.
You've come a long way from 12 guys to 700 people. I think that's amazing. I'm real proud of the company doing what they're doing.
I think it means a lot for everybody that's been a part of the Jack Laurie Group that it is something that it's going to continue on, because reaching 75 years is a great goal, but then, continuing on into the future, another 25 to get to 100 years, 125, 150 years, is to really get into that rare air of what a company can do and what kind of impact it can have on people's lives and the communities that it competes in. But I view it more as a foundation. It gets me more excited of what we can do in the future.